Yo guys, and welcome to a new video. Today I will give you my spoiler-free thoughts on It Welcome to Derry episode 2 because I was able to see it at an event screening in the movie theater. Alright, so today I will give you my spoiler-free thoughts on the second episode of It Welcome to Derry because I was able to see that one in the movie theater already, so I can give you my spoiler-free thoughts on it before you go into the episode in 2 days because it releases earlier this week for Halloween as a celebration, which is really nice. Thank you, HBO. So, episode 2, without any spoilers, is for me personally not as good as episode 1 was, but still pretty interesting nonetheless. And even though it's a bit of a downgrade on that first episode, because in my opinion they threw everything they had in that first episode to make the pilot as great as possible, to have everything that you want to expect from a horror series or a horror film. They threw all of their cards, making sure that they really did not have any cards left for this episode or for what was to follow in this one. Not that it wasn't any good, and there are still a few very sincere and very effective horror sequences in there, but they feel less visionary as in that first episode because in then everything was new, and right now you already have like the repetitions of stuff like that, and you kind of want to see where some of these things are going, but it's mostly the story surrounding everything else that ties this episode together to still be very good in my own opinion. You have the story from the children, which really works. You have a very interesting take on whatever happened at the end of the first episode, which is really great. And if you remember correctly, I was saying yesterday that I really didn't like the military stuff in the first episode yet. In this episode, they start to grow on that and they start to give you more, which is nice. Still not fully satisfied with it, but it works good enough. In my own opinion as well, I do think this episode also drags a little bit in the middle as it has some side things happening that aren't as interesting as the mystery and these children and even the military. There's something with a family that has come to Derry and that is interesting enough, but it really wouldn't have mattered if it wasn't in the episode. So yeah, this episode is definitely still great. It's definitely still good. It's just not as good as that first episode because that first episode was as good as it possibly could have been. Alright, what did you think of this episode? Were you also able to see it early or were you not? In 2 days on Halloween itself, I will also put out my spoiler-filled thoughts on this film or on this episode. I'm gonna keep saying film because I watched it in the movie theater, but there's that. Alright, I want to thank you for watching this video. Hope you liked what you've seen and I want to see more. And if you do, well, click somewhere to do something and see more. Bye-bye.